The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
This is the Eagles Sports Network. I'm the voice of the Eagles, Adam Cavalier, alongside Carson-Newman head softball coach Michael Graves to debut the 2023 schedule today. Michael, good Lord. This is a tough little slate you've put together, coming off of a regional appearance. I would presume the goal was to challenge your team, and you'll do that in a major way. A quarter of the schedule is against teams that participated in regionals last year, whether it be the Southeast, the South, even got some other regions mixed in. Break down the objective to putting together this slate of games.
Well, I kind of got carried away with tournament play, I guess you could say. We had some trouble finding, some teams to play in the last couple of years, so I thought the best way to do it was go to tournaments. And, we went to the Alabama-Huntsville tournament last year, and we really liked it down there. And then we got invited to the NFCA, leadoff tournament. And, a lot of times they ask you if there's anybody you really want to play or stuff. And I don't ever want to ask for anybody, but I also don't want people to say that we didn't want to play them. So I said, just, put us in the other dugout and let us know what time to be there. So, it's either going to be a great schedule or a bad one. There's nothing.
The level of difficulty is strong. You play UIndy, who's perennially been in the top 25 over the past few years. Alabama-Huntsville, same deal with the Chargers. Mississippi College is back on the schedule after making a regional last year. How gratifying is it to know, with your tongue planted in your cheek a little bit there, that you will be battle tested for South Atlantic Conference play by the end of the month of February?
I think we have one of the toughest conferences in the country. If you look top to bottom, at the scores and, the level and the athletes that we have. But like you said, U of Indy is always good. Alabama-Huntsville is always good. And, you've got Columbus out of the Peach Belt we're playing. So we've got a lot of tough games. And I think we will be more battle-tested going into conference play, than other teams will. So hopefully it works in our favor.
It's a lineup that returns a good chunk from a year ago for you, but have to break in some new pitching. Morgan Baker-Sellis graduates, Sarah King graduates. What challenges does a schedule of this caliber pose when you are breaking in some youthful pitchers? And let's face it, Sierra Rogers threw last year, but still just a sophomore.
Well, we are young in the circle. That's very true. We've got 3 freshmen that came in, and we expect big things from all 3 of them. We got one coming off a back injury. We're kind of, easing her back into things and trying not to push her too much because she was very, very good in high school, but I also just don't want to, re-aggravate the injury. But we've got 2 very talented other freshmen that played very good in the fall that we're expecting huge things out of. So hopefully they get some games under their belt early and, it works out.
You bring up games under your belt. I mean, that is the theme of February, weather willing. And granted, it's not East Tennessee, just one home game in the month of February, and that's the opener against Concord. You'll have played 23 games by the time the month is over. Is it going to be how nice will it be to have that many reps so early in the season with some new faces in the mix, to give them multiple chances before you actually hit sack play?
I think it's great. We've got some kids that we need to get in ball games. I mean, I've got a pretty good idea of what we're going to start with, game 1 as far as the 9 we're going to put out there. But, I've also got, 12 to 13, even 14 deep that are just good ball players that, we're hoping to get in games and help us. So we don't have a lot of leeway, after the first week or so, we jump into like big time competition. So we've got to, figure it out quick and be good really fast.
Big time competition also in the month of February. Your SAC opener, February 22nd, unbelievably. You head up the mountain to take on Mars Hill. So SAC play hits fairly early, and when you're in the mix of those tough non-conference games, break down the league, the parity for the SAC. It feels like back-to-back-to-back years that you've headed into the last weekend of the year, and we get a document from the South Atlantic Conference that, hey, congratulations, here's these 152 tiebreak scenarios to work through. The league strong as ever, it feels like.
Yes, I agree. And bringing Emery and Henry in, they'll be pretty good. They got a new coach, and I know he recruits well from Kings. So, that just brings in another team that's good. But LR and Anderson and LMU and Wingate and even Tusculum, a couple years ago got into the NCAA tournament. So, teams are just getting better and better in our league.
All right, Michael Graves, thanks for the time. Good luck this year.
Thank you.
It's Carson-Newman head softball coach Michael Graves and the voice of the Eagles, Adam Cavalier, and this is the Eagles Sports Network.